Good morning everyone and welcome to the social science class. This is class 6, chapter number 3, geography. The name of the chapter is Motions of the Earth. It's our lecture number 2 of this chapter. As in lecture number 1, we have already discussed that there are two movements of the earth, rotation and revolution. Rotation causes day and night that we discussed. The part that is in front of sun that has day and the part that has darkness that is the part which is facing night at that particular time. And it rotates there on the axis and day changes into night, night into changes. So the rotation that continuous process it is going on due to which day and nights they cause and it rotates on its axis. Now the topics that we will discuss today, they are revolution and seasons. Today we will talk about revolution as meaning we have already discussed. Revolution, that is the movement of the earth around the sun in its fixed path called orbit. The earth is revolving around the sun in its fixed path that is known as orbit. That is called revolution. And that revolution causes seasons on the earth. So that we will discuss leap year, summer solstice, winter solstice, equinox, and at last we will discuss the homework that was assigned in lecture number 1. The first topic, revolution and the seasons. The earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution around the sun. That we discussed in revolution also, that earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution around the sun in its orbit. Seasons changes due to the change in the position of the earth around the sun as it is revolving in its orbit around the sun. So it changes its position. So the change in the position, that is the reason for different seasons. So as the position of the earth changes due to revolution, it causes seasons on the earth. A year is usually divided into summer, winter, spring and autumn. So these four all we will discuss how due to the changes in the position of the earth, these seasons occur there on the earth. So this is the phenomena that we covered. The revolution causes seasons. Leap year. As we know that the earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete its revolution. But our calendar year has 365 days. If you noticed that in our calendar we have 365 days. These 6 hours are not adjusted there in every year. So 365 days we are having normally in our years, but these 6 hours, they are added for continuously for 4 years, and after 4 years it makes 24 hours as 6 4 ja 24. So when in 4th year it makes 24 hours or 1 earth day, that is included that in the year, and that makes the leap year. How? The 6 hours make 1 day 24 hours after every 4 years. As we discussed, 6 4 are 24. So we add this one day after every 4 years. That's why a leap year has 366 days and it comes after every 4 years. As one day we are adding after every 4 years, so leap year we have after every 4 years by adding 666 4 times. So that's why in leap year 366 days are there. And the extra day that we add it in February month. That's why February has 29 days in leap year instead of 28 days. As in normal years we have 28 days, but in leap year in February months we have 29 days. So this is the phenomena of the leap year and how it is formed. The leap year that has 366 days instead of 365 and February month has 29 days instead of 28 days. And how it is formed? The 6 years, extra 6 hours we add every year, and after 4 years it becomes one day that we add and we make leap year. Next is revolution of the earth and seasons. Now in this diagram we will discuss how the earth, the different positions are shown there of the earth in its orbit around the sun. So you just listen carefully how these different seasons are shown there with different positions of the earth. If you see there, the summer in the northern hemisphere. See carefully that northern hemisphere, the upper part you can say, that is tilted towards the sun in this position. So northern hemisphere is getting more heat than the southern hemisphere. So the northern hemisphere that has summer season during this particular time, and the southern hemisphere that has winter season. And here one more thing is written, summer solstice. Summer solstice falls on 21st June. This is the position when the direct rays of the sun fall on Tropic of Cancer in northern hemisphere, and that particular time has the longest day in northern hemisphere and shortest night, and it is vice versa in southern hemisphere. In southern hemisphere at the same time the shortest day is there and longest night. So this is the phenomena of the summer and winter season in northern and southern hemisphere and the summer solstice that we will discuss later on also. In opposite of it, if you see, there winter in northern hemisphere. Here in this position you can see the southern part that is towards the sun. So it gets more heat here, that's why the summer season they face, and they are in the northern hemisphere, the less heat it receives, so winter season it is there, and the winter solstice it is written as in the northern hemisphere it is winter, and it falls on 22nd December, when in northern hemisphere the shortest day and longest night is there, and in southern opposite of it. And very strange thing you can see here, as Australia that is there in southern hemisphere. So when Christmas Day is there in northern hemisphere as we celebrate it on 25th December. So here winter is there in northern hemisphere. We celebrate Christmas in winter, but Australia it celebrates winter and it celebrates the Christmas there in summer season. So this is the phenomena of summer and winter. Now the other two position. These are known as the position of equinox. Equinox means that has come from equal. Here the sun rays falls in both the condition. The sun rays fall on equator, on the center. That's why both the hemispheres, they have equal days and equal nights. And the seasons, if you see, on 21st March, their spring is there in northern hemisphere and autumn is there in southern hemisphere. And in opposite direction, 23rd September, in September month, here in northern hemisphere, we have autumn season, and in southern hemisphere, they experience the spring season. But these two positions, they are known as equinox, when the days and nights are equal in both the hemispheres, northern as well as southern. Now let's discuss about summer solstice, winter solstice and equinox. Summer solstice. It falls on 21st June. As we already discussed, on 21st June, when the sun rays fall directly on Tropic of Cancer. The northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun during this position, as we have seen in the diagram. So, sun rays fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer in this position, and the northern hemisphere receives more heat from the sun. That's why summer season is the longest day and shortest night occur on 21st June in northern hemisphere, and it is vice versa in southern hemisphere. Longest night and shortest day. So this is the position of summer solstice. Now you can see here in this diagram the summer solstice, when the sun rays, the dotted part you can see, it is Tropic of Cancer. So direct rays, the sun rays, they are falling there on Tropic of Cancer. So this is the position of summer season in northern hemisphere and winter in southern hemisphere. Now winter solstice. It falls on 22nd December, when sun rays fall directly on the Tropic of Capricorn. The sun rays fall directly on the Tropic of Capricorn. Larger portion of the southern hemisphere gets light, so more heat they are receiving. There is summer season in southern hemisphere, and the situation is vice versa in northern hemisphere. During this period of time, the northern hemisphere experiences winter there in that portion. There is shortest day and longest night in northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere experiences winter season, and vice versa in the southern hemisphere. The longest day and shortest night on 22nd December in southern hemisphere. So this is all about summer solstice, winter solstice. On 21st June it is summer solstice. On 22nd December winter solstice. And in summer solstice the direct rays of the sun, they fall on Tropic of Cancer in northern hemisphere, and in winter solstice direct rays of the sun fall on Tropic of Capricorn in southern hemisphere. So that's why if we talk about the seasons, there during the time of summer solstice, summer is there in northern hemisphere, winter is there in southern hemisphere. If we talk about winter solstice, at this particular time, winter season is there in northern hemisphere and summer is there in the southern hemisphere. That's why we say that Christmas is celebrated in summer season in Australia as it is there in southern hemisphere. Now again the diagram that is telling us about the winter solstice. Now you can see there the direct rays of the sun, they fall on Tropic of Capricorn, the dotted part. And here in the northern hemisphere it shows winter season, and in southern hemisphere it shows summer season at that particular time. So this is all about the December solstice, or we can say the winter solstice, the position of the earth, and they really describing the summer and winter season very well. Next is equinox. As in diagram we discussed about it, equi that comes from equal. So it is there on 21st March and 23rd September. The sun rays fall directly on the equator during this position. So the whole earth experiences equal days and equal nights. In both the hemispheres we experience equal days and equal nights. So that is the position of equinox. You must remember the date and the position why it is equinox, because in the direct rays fall on equator and the complete earth experiences equal days and equal nights. That is the position of equinox. Now let's see this also in diagram. That we already discussed, that 21st March, if we talk about equinox, 21st March there is spring season in northern hemisphere, autumn in southern hemisphere, and 23rd September there is autumn in the northern hemisphere and the spring there in the southern hemisphere. That you have to remember only. The dates: 21st June summer solstice, 22nd December that was the winter solstice, 21st March and 23rd September equinox position. Now one more thing there in the chapter, poles have about 6 months day and 6 months night. How does it happen? As we know that earth rotates, we have understood how days and nights they are formed due to the rotation of the earth. We have already covered. And due to the revolution, the seasons occur there. But as our earth is tilted, due to that, what happens on the poles, North Pole and South Pole? They experience the 6 months day and 6 months night. Now let's see how. The axis of the earth is tilted, as we already talked that it is tilted 23.5 degree and it makes 66.5 degree angle on the orbital plane. So as it is tilted, due to that the sun continuously either shines or cannot be seen for a long time on the poles. See there in the diagram. There the upper part, the lines are drawn there, latitudes. If we talk, the near the pole you can see the part that is completely there in the light blue part. It means it is experiencing the day here. Though the earth is rotating, but this part remains in the direct contact of the sun. That's why here continuously day is there. And it is written here, sun never sets. Now if we talk about the South Pole now, in this diagram particularly, near the pole we can see that complete portion is there in the dark part, in the night part. Though it is rotating, but that part remains there for a longer time till the earth changes its position. So this is the reason, due to the tiltness of the earth, of the axis of the earth, the poles experience near about 6 months day and 6 months night. Though the earth rotates, day changes in nights and night into days at other places. On other places, as they are experiencing day night night day, but poles remains under the same stage for a longer time due to tilt. So due to the tiltness of the axis, the poles experience near about 6 months day and 6 month night. This is all about, this is very important question also. So here in this chapter, in particular lecture, we talked about the revolution and seasons, then summer solstice, winter solstice, equinox position, and at last we talked about the poles have about 6 months day and 6 months night. So this was all about the different topics of today's lecture. Now the homework. On the basis of today's lecture, some questions that you will attempt in your fair register are: question number 1, what is a leap year? You have to explain what do you mean by the leap year. Differentiate between the summer and winter solstice. Both we have done. You will differentiate because we have done the points there in summer solstice as well as in winter solstice. Then you will differentiate between those points. That will be the answer, obviously. Then what is an equinox? Here you will explain the position of equinox. Then at last, why do the poles experience about 6 months day and 6 months night? So these are the questions that you will attempt. Now it's time for homework solution of previous lecture. Homework solution of lecture number 1 of this chapter. What do you mean by rotation? Rotation is the movement of the earth on its axis. Define circle of illumination. The circle which separates day from night is called circle of illumination. The next question was differentiate between rotation and revolution of the earth. Rotation, it is movement of the earth on its axis. Revolution, it is movement of the earth around the sun. Rotation, earth takes 24 hours to complete its rotation. In revolution, earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to complete one revolution around the sun. Rotation causes day and night. Revolution causes seasons. It is daily motion of the earth, as we have the day of 24 hours. It is yearly motion of the earth, so 1 year it takes. That's why it is yearly motion of the earth. What is the angle of inclination of the earth's axis with its orbital plane? Means how much it is tilted on its orbital plane. What angle it is making? The angle of inclination of the earth's axis with its orbital plane is 66.5 degree. So this is all about the homework solution of previous lecture. I hope you have understood today's lecture as well as these answers. Thank you. Have a nice day.